Hi. In this tutorial, we'll learn about opening and importing DXF CAD files into ToolShop. DXF stands for Drawing Exchange Format and was originally published by Autodesk so that users could extract CAD drawings from AutoCAD into other software and machinery. DXF has become the standard 2D CAD drawing format. However, DXF files present a few challenges when importing into a nesting and toolpath program. To demonstrate, I've deliberately turned off some of the powerful import functions in ToolShop, and I'll import a basic file with a bunch of parts so you can see what can go wrong. First, we go to the TS icon, which activates the File menu, and we'll select Open. We need to select the DXF file extension in the File filter box. Next, we're going to select the DXF file and click Open. You will see the Advanced File dialog box, which give a lot of control over the way ToolShop interprets the file. For now, we'll just click OK. The file opens up in the ToolShop workspace and generally looks fine. The first thing I see is that the parts look very large compared to the sheet of material represented by the rectangle on the screen. If I select a part using the Select tool, I can see the dimensions of the part on the status bar below. The reason the size is incorrect is that this drawing was created using millimeters, but I have incorrectly selected inches as the import units. Let's try that again. If I go to the File menu, I can use the Reopen function to bring in the same file again. This time, I will change the units to millimeters and click OK. There, that looks much better. If I select the part again, I can see that the dimensions are correct on the status bar at the bottom. Next, I'm going to have a look around the file. I see that there are some dots on some of the part outlines. I'm going to zoom in using the scroll wheel and see what is going on. The small dots on the outline indicate the ends of lines. This means that the lines in the CAD file are disjointed and don't join up. This could be because there is a slight gap or overlap at the corners, or perhaps the lines were drawn out of sequence. When I zoom over to this circle, I see that it was exported as a series of short lines instead of a true circle. There are a couple of reasons why this may have happened. Very old versions of the DXF file format didn't support true circles. They always exported them in this way. Some CAD programs also allow the user to explode a circle into this format. Whatever the reason, I know that's going to look awful if I try to cut it on my CNC machine. So how do we overcome these issues? ToolShop has some very powerful cleanup features that can be adjusted through the Options/Preferences menu. We'll select the Cleanup Settings heading. See, the first setting is the Auto Join Tolerance. This setting will allow the cleanup function to automatically fix disjointed corners. If two lines are within this tolerance, ToolShop will fix the issue by slightly moving the ends of the lines and joining them together. Next, we have the Arc Cleanup Tolerance setting. Remember the circle that was made up of small lines? This setting allows ToolShop to recreate curves and circles that have been exploded into those small lines. The setting refers to the chordal deviation from a true arc, but the simplest way is to gradually increase the value until the cleanup function interprets the circles correctly. Making the value too large may cause ToolShop to incorrectly place arcs where they aren't meant to be. Let's try the cleanup function on some of the parts in the drawing. First, I'll select a part that has disjointed corners. Then I'll go to the Transform menu and click Cleanup. Wow, that's great. ToolShop fixed those open corners perfectly. Now I'm going to look at that segmented circle. Oh, it still has those small lines. Let's go back to the preferences and increase the tolerance a little. I'm going to set the arc cleanup to 0.2 millimeters. This would be around 0.01 inches. Let's try the cleanup function again. Perfect. The circle is now smooth without any small straight segments. But wouldn't it be great if ToolShop could do that automatically? Well, the good news is that under the preferences there is that option. This time, we'll go to the Import settings and we'll check the box marked Cleanup on Import. I'll use the Reopen function and click OK again. Let's look at the part with the open corners. ToolShop has fixed the open corners perfectly. Let's take a look at that segmented circle. That's been cleaned up as well. Usually, we can leave those settings as they are. But if you have a particularly poor quality drawing, then you may need to adjust one of those settings a little. You probably noticed the Text Shape Accuracy setting that runs a similar cleanup of small text. This is sometimes needed because very small Windows fonts can look jagged. Increasing that setting can improve the quality of those fonts. Be careful you don't set it too large. However, as the text can become distorted. Okay, let's have another look at the parts on the screen. I can see another issue. Remember that we learned how to combine shapes? ToolShop sorts the shapes into internal children shapes and external parent shapes. Combining shapes also locks related shapes together into parts. We can easily select all the shapes and run the combine function on the transform toolbar. But it would be much simpler if ToolShop could do it automatically. Let's go back to the preferences and go to the import settings. Let's check the combine on import box. Now we'll reopen the file. See that all of the internal shapes are now red and the external shapes are blue. This means we can easily move the shapes without messing up the position of holes. It has also separated the shapes into their respective parts. Just a quick side note, if you use the File/Open function, ToolShop will clear the current job and open the newly selected file. If you wish to add the new files to the current job, then you can use the Import function instead. This will add the new files to the existing job. So in this tutorial, we have covered the basics of opening DXF files from other CAD programs. We've learned how to adjust the cleanup tolerances to fix small problems in DXF files. And we've got ToolShop doing the cleanup and the combine functions automatically on open. Thanks for watching.